Ding dong. Justin Trudeau is gonzo. Kind of. I wore my Wayne Gretzky Canada Cup, 1987 Canada Cup jersey. Bought it on Temu, $20. Honestly, pretty good purchase. First thing in my life I ever bought off of an Instagram ad. It's kind of a girl thing to do, right? But I did it. And it's actually surprisingly good quality, except for that the sleeves were super fucking long. It made no sense. And I had to go to a tailor, a seamstress, if you will, and get the sleeves shortened. But that was like $10. I go, still a steal. I'll wear it 4 more times before it disintegrates. Shout out to Temu. I don't know if Temu requires shout outs at all in any capacity. But Justin Trudeau today resigned. He resigned. But he didn't really resign. He kind of resigned. He resigned from not being the Prime Minister of Canada. And I don't know how many Canadians are watching right now, but this is a national story. This is my wheelhouse. As a Canadian living in America, I go, finally, my time to shine. A Canada-related topic, right? But so he resigned as the head of the party. He's shutting down Parliament for 3 months while he gets his shit together, I suppose. However, it's kind of meaningless. Honestly, everybody's like so pumped about this. They were going to have an election in October regardless, at which point he was going to get fucking smoked. Absolutely decimated. They were potentially going to call an election next month. They were going to do one of these no confidence votes for you Americans, this parliamentary system, right? But so he just goes, you know what? We're closing shop for 3 months. Everybody literally go home, which is crazy. Just like all you people who apparently run the country, it's a snow day. It's a 3-month fucking snow day, okay? Sends them all home. But he could just keep extending it. He could literally decide, he goes, I'm going to keep extending it and extending it. He could extend it into October. He could decide that, you know what? They did a kind of leadership convention. Nobody was really that good. And I'll just run. Why not? Currently the prime minister anyways. Donald Trump, the 47th president it doesn't start today. It starts in 2 weeks from now, right? Again, Canadian. Posted this on Truth Social. Many people in Canada love being the 51st state. The United States can no longer suffer the massive trade deficits and subsidies that Canada needs to stay afloat. Justin Trudeau knew this and resigned. If Canada merged with the United States, there would be no tariffs, taxes would go way down, and they would be totally secure, that's all caps, totally secure, from the threat of the Russian and Chinese ships that are constantly surrounding them. Together, what a great nation it would be. Can't blame Trump right here. Honestly, the guy smells blood, all right? There's no question about that. Trump is smelling blood right now. He likes the way it smells, likes the way it tastes. He sees a weak country, and he goes, you know what? I may be able to get this done. And there's like, is there a prime minister? Everybody went home. I guess there's a prime minister. What the fuck's he going to do? He's not going to do anything. Like, you're going to negotiate with the guy who's just like on his way out. And, you know, like Canada could legitimately be kind of dysfunctional for a good part of this year, and Trump might make a play. And look, if Trump gets Canada, I don't know if they have to put his head on Mount Rushmore beside the other 4. I don't know if they do that. If they're going to be like Mount Rushmore now has 5 heads, or we have to remove somebody. They're not going to remove Washington, not going to remove Lincoln. And those are the only 2 I know. Let's see who else is on there. Who's on Mount Rushmore? Who we got? Theodore Roosevelt. Can't remove him. Thomas Jefferson. Ooh, that's tough. So they're just going to have to add him. But if he gets Canada, man, I mean, Greenland, he was like cracking jokes. He goes, I'm just going to buy Greenland. And the Greenland's like, we're not for sale. And then Greenland literally just like put some declaration where they essentially are leaving Denmark, and their fucking Greenland's open for business. If he gets Greenland, Canada, Panama Canal, you put him on Mount Rushmore. Like, is there any I mean, he'll put himself on Mount Rushmore. He goes, look, it's just like it's another construction project. Let's just get me on Mount Rushmore. I don't. Do they have to vote? I don't know how it works in America. Like, is it understood in America that Mount Rushmore is set? Surely it can't be. Like, what if there's a really good president 400 years from now? Like there's going to be 100 presidents over the next 400 years. One of them's got to be good enough to get on Mount Rushmore, surely. But he could do it because people think it's like, oh, you got to have boots on the ground, right? Like you gotta literally go invade Canada. No, you do not need to go invade Canada. All they would have to do, which I'm sure he could do, is say every Canadian gets U.S. citizenship if you want it. We'll convert your dollars 1-to-1. The Canadian dollar is the weakest it's been in a very long time. Lower taxes. You can move somewhere warm. Hey, you like Florida? There's nowhere warm in Canada. You can move somewhere warm and you don't need a visa or cross a border. You know how many people will just instantly leave? Millions. To the point where it would cause so much chaos, economic chaos in Canada, that instantly it would just be over. They'd be just forced to make a deal, and then they wouldn't even have like a proper prime minister. I mean, not like he was good if this happened a month ago, but it'd be a mess. And I mean, look, and they have what's his name? Pierre Poilievre. He's basically a lock to be the next prime minister. He's kind of like a mini Trump. It's funny, he like specifically bites some of Trump's little things too. Like the nickname stuff, like this guy Mark Carney, who used to be the head of the Bank of Canada and I believe Bank of England. Both of them. But so he does the nickname thing. He calls him Carbon Tax Carney. So it's like, you know, I'm sure Pierre would, as much as he really wants to be prime minister, if he's governor of Canada, because I looked it up, that's how it works, is if you're a U.S. territory, you got to be a governor now. He's fine with it, because that basically is the prime minister. Same thing. And look, I know some Canadians will argue with me. Maybe there's a case to be made. Canada has no discernible identity anymore. I mean, I'm wearing the hockey jersey right now. And I know if you don't live in Canada, what I'm about to say is going to make 0 sense to you, and you are not going to understand this. But Canada hasn't medaled at the World Juniors Hockey Tournament for the last 2 years. While at the same time, the United States won gold 2 years in a row, and Canada didn't even medal. Like, that was like kind of our only thing. That was all Canada had, is we were like, yeah, we're the best at hockey. We don't have that many people, and we'll smoke all of you. And besides, like, you know, they won the Olympics in 2014. There's not much going on. What are we, polite? That's what we have now? We don't have hockey anymore. It's like our maple syrup. There's good maple syrup in America. That's a lie. And again, you Americans are like, what are you talking about? I'm telling you, this is a big deal in Canada. And also with the whole Canadians are polite, that's loser talk. Okay? That is loser talk. Polite countries get conquered. That's what happens to polite countries. If that's like what your entire ethos of your nation is that you're polite and you happen to have a lot of natural resources, go walk around New York City and be polite and just have gold falling out of your pocket. See what happens to you. Someone's going to fucking light you on fire. You're going to get literally lit on fire.